be with you in a second. There's some other people coming in. How's it going? It's been a little while, but I know where to pick up. I'll jog your memory for you. Don't worry about it.
All right, welcome to Grimm's. I'm Grimm. Thank you for joining us for episode number 7. We're on already. Of our D&D campaign, which is Tales of Ravnica. Today we have the same town drunks who have been crawling their way into this place week after week. We've got Chris.
Hi.
We've got Saren. We've got Zoralia, actually.
Hello.
And I guess that's Tink.
Tink, technically. Yeah.
And then we have Mark.
Hello.
We also, along with all of those guys, still have our beautiful, wonderful, ever so helpful sponsors. We've got the Roll20 guys, we've got the D&D Beyond guys, the Incarnate guys, we've got the All D20 guys, we've got sponsors.
So many guys.
Ding, 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 ding. Links in
ding,
descriptions
ding, ding.
down there. Make sure to check them out, because they're great. And as always, we've got this fancy sponsor right here, Arcana Vault, because they give us these lovely little mystery packages with these cool dice in them. Now, before I actually open this one up, I'm going to tease it a little bit. I'm going to leave it right there, because first I have to make space for those new ones by giving away the old dice. And I think that based on how cool and kind of blue and stealthy these ones are, the colors of the Dimir are
stealthy.
kind of blue and silvery, so I'm going to give this one over to Chris.
Yay!
Good job, you earned it.
I didn't die.
And you got the old ones.
That means
Those ones go to
somebody.
Yes, the amber with the dark mix. Those ones are going to get moved
I
over.
really just want to give these away.
Yeah, I think we should. I don't want
Oh,
to,
I love those
but
ones.
I know.
Alas.
We'll put something in there for the contest, like episode 6 that we did.
Cool.
Give them away. I'll be sad about it, but it's okay.
Well, we got to move away from the sadness to more excitement as we unveil our next and newest batch of dice. Here we go. Exclusive. You guys get to see it first, seconds before the rest of them. Ooh,
Not really.
another
I can't see
cool
them.
batch. These ones, instead of being the blue and silver, these ones are actually green, sparkled, clear with gold numbers. Very cool.
Oh, neat.
We'll pass these around to you guys.
Yay! Oh, wow.
Oh, that's really cool.
They look like
Do
they
they
glow
glow
in
in
the
the
dark.
dark?
Yeah.
Do they glow in the dark?
They might be.
Really?
Yeah, take them to the
I don't-
closet.
Do they have glow-in-the-dark
I
dice?
I don't know. I
That'd be
feel
pretty
like
cool.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
They look like they're already glowing.
Those are really cool though.
It's cool.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, we
Well, they just
we
came out of a
leveled up,
package,
didn't
though.
we?
Yeah, well, yes.
You can play it on them.
With the last episode, you guys kind of ended off
Right.
at a resting point, so you guys will be level 3.
Yay! Ding, 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 ding.
Thank you.
Now I don't remember where.
Oh no, they're not the glow in the dark ones.
Gotta
The
put
glow in the
these
dark
all-
ones are green and orange.
Oh, they do have glow in
Quincy
the dark.
Yeah, they
approved
do, because I
order,
remember seeing them.
though
Those
he
ones
wouldn't
aren't
approve
glow
that
in
I'm
the
not
dark
training
ones,
them
so
by
they
having
look
all their
very
highest
similar.
facings upward.
In case we
Glow in
ever
the dark.
play in the dark.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Tired-
So we've given the dice, gotten the new dice, given a shout out to the sponsors. Now what we have to do is get into a little bit of a recap of where we left off. And I believe in our last episode, our trek and trip down through the sewers and tunnels of the Undercity, you guys managed to come across some interesting mushrooms that were growing on these kind of large sewer tunnel pipeways, and they kind of snap at things that happen to tumble down them, which happened to be you guys. And one of them caught onto your foot and dissolved your boot, but then someone made you an ingenious makeshift boot, and then you guys slipped down into the next part, which was a sewer, which had a sewer sludge monster called a rhizome lurcher, that you managed to actually stop it from doing its main thing, which is like accumulating all of the filth and gathering it to itself. So you kind of killed it in its infancy and managed to kind of search around and find a magical piece of gear. Bulgari trinket. You continue to kind of wend your way and trudge through all of the ankle-deep muck and slime and sludge and all of the bugs and gnats and such until you finally exited that sewer system and burst out into an area that was a lot more open, that had actually been cleared away. of some stuff anyway. A lot of rubble had been cleared out of the way, and yet a whole bunch of biological trash was kind of piled up in a field. It's a Golgari rot farm that you guys came across, and you saw the little rot farm hut of the people that kind of made it. And I believe the very last thing that we did was that you guys went into that hut and realized that the people who live there, who are quite far away from the protecting kind of the warm embrace of the Mitts, these people were killed by relatively minor threats, something that the Mittsmen could have very easily handled. Something had gotten to this family, you dispatched those creatures very easily, and then you gave them their final rites before settling down in their home for the night. And that's where we'll pick up, with you guys having sown some of the spores and things that they keep in their spice cabinet, effectively. You kind of sowed it over their graves and kind of brought them new life as you guys retreated into the home, closed it up, kind of boarded it up and undid some of the damage that was done to it, and you guys now have a safe-ish place to rest. What would you guys like to do while you're sitting in here getting ready to sleep?
I think if we're getting ready to sleep, I would probably prop up a little thing of ball bearings above, maybe if there's a door that opens that isn't blown off the hinges or something, or, maybe put some cups if I can find some towards the edge of like a window ledge so that if it gets open, the cup will fall out. Just little things like that, just to make sure that we're okay in the night.
All right, very good. You get to a very, very silent work that while these guys are kind of boarding up and securing the rest of it and preparing fires and meals and rations and things to eat, you're actually concerned with the kind of safety measures that will keep you whole and hale throughout the night. And you put your bag of stuff all around. I'm going to have you do a sleight of hand for me. There will be degrees of success to this.
Wasn't that good? It's a 9.
Oh no.
That's not that good.
With a 9, you manage to set up your bag of ball bearings at the top in like a loosely open kind of bag on top of the doorway, so the mantelpiece, so that when that opens, yes, the ball bearings will drop, make a loud bunch of clatter and noise, and it'll also trip up whoever comes through. Unfortunately, you realize that the people here are quite poor, and so they only have a few pieces of kind of clay, earthenware, kind of jugs and mugs and things of that type. So as you go to put them near what they have as a window, because there really isn't all that much light that comes down here, but it's more for just fresh air. As you kind of line that up on the edge, the things are oddly weighted, they're not smooth, so they slip, fall, they shatter so easily. By the end of it, you end up going, there, I've got it. And the only way they'll sit is just as a flat mug that won't get knocked over. Unfortunately, the window into this house is unguarded.
Okay.
I just want to thank you all for coming and helping me find my dad.
Of course.
And you guys didn't have to. Not getting paid for this, obviously.
Well, yeah, but...
I don't think we care about the money as much as you do. We do care about finding your father, though.
Yeah, you're kind of a dick.
How am I a dick?
Remember when we helped out those guys and you're like, hey, you got any silver? And they're like, hey, here's some copper. And you're like, yeah, but silver.
Well,
It was kind of a dick thing
it's a
to do.
small price to pay for their lives, I think.
Yeah, see, dick thinking. Right?
Let's not fight. He likes money, that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just thought maybe we could use some supplies that might keep other people alive, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but maybe leave it to like getting money from rich people than getting money from people that are already scrounging and already defenseless and
Alright.
See,
getting attacked all the time.
not a
Right.
dick.
Doesn't
We gotta
your,
go help out the rich people and leave the poor people.
Doesn't your
No.
mother have a ton of
You
money?
help- Yeah,
Couldn't
why
she
do
just give you money?
Actually, we've incurred quite a large sum of debt.
Oh,
We're not
That is
as well off
unfortunate.
as she might like to appear. You didn't hear that from me.
so that's
Right.
is that why your father's gone to go make some money?
Well, yeah, it's gone to get her some equipment and stuff so she can keep her business going. Though it's kind of struggling a bit right now.
This got sad real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
maybe
a-
if she wasn't.
A
What?
dick.
Yeah, well, the way she is, you know, if she was a little bit nicer, maybe.
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
the
you should
business
tell
would
her.
be a
You
little
should
better.
totally
Well, maybe
go up
I
and tell her
will.
that.
Maybe I will.
She would appreciate it very much.
Okay.
I would love to see that, by the way.
I'll go up with you.
Yeah.
We'll
all,
both tell her.
we will all tell her together.
She was nice and like offered us the mushroom armor and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
I do look pretty fancy.
yeah, you do. You look absolutely amazing. But yeah, like we need to tell her to be nice, especially to her your dad.
Absolutely. We should all go and tell her. After this, what about you? What's your mother like?
Oh, well, I don't have a mother. Well, I mean, I had a mother, right? But I don't know her. Sure, she.
Did you spawn from like an egg or something?
I'm not from an
Can't
egg.
just ask people that.
I was.
I'm just curious how these demon people seem to sprout out.
These demon people.
Kind of a dick, isn't he?
I did not hatch from an egg. No, I was birthed from my mother, whoever she is, and then she left me at the
Oh,
door of the Azorius Senate.
sorry. So you didn't know your father either.
No. I know about my father, but I don't know my father.
You tried to find them?
I don't want to find my mother. Any woman who would give birth to a child and abandon them doesn't need to be found, but my father I am interested to see of whether he knew about me or not. I have an idea maybe of where he might be, but I have not found him, no.
That like something you'd like us to go with you for?
Is he an evil demon?
If you want,
See an evil demon?
I'm scared. Sorry.
I don't know. He is a demon, yes. He's an incubus, but
Oh, I've never seen an incubus before. Would they like me?
would they what?
Would
Would
they-
they like me? Or am I? being
Oh, they would
attacked by
like
them?
you.
Oh God.
Yes, they would like you.
No.
They would like you
They
very
like most
much.
everything.
Oh. But it's
They would
okay.
probably like you and you too.
Yeah.
They'd
Oh.
especially
They
like.
like-
You wouldn't like me.
Yeah.
I'm great.
I feel like demons would really like Andy.
I certainly do.
Oh, your mom. Your mom would be loved by
Thank
all
you very
demons.
much. I think she might be a bit herself. So you were raised by the Azorius? And
Yes,
that's
I
why
was.
you kind of dress this way and act the way you
Yes.
do?
Yes.
And you think you have authority everywhere you go?
Ah, there's the dick. Waiting. He's waiting.
I can have authority if I wish to.
Yeah.
I was taught that, yes. It's
Cool,
very
cool.
easy.
That could come in handy.
It always does.
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't easy growing up looking the way you do amongst those righteous bunch.
Oh, it was fucking horrible. But we don't need to talk about that.
I was thinking there, I thought you were going to say it was great, just the tone that went in with, and then it just went sideways.
That's, I think, maybe a story for another day. They're not nice, but they've taught me a lot. I gained a lot of skills, so
So you don't
I mean-
regret it?
how can I regret it? They're the only people who raised me.
No hard feelings there then?
I wouldn't say that, but
It seems like you turned out
Great. You turned out great.
pretty good.
I'm
Just say it, don't be a dick, just say it.
You turned out great.
I am pretty great.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying so.
I'm pretty great too,
Yeah, you are.
and humble.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
really,
They're
really
all
humble.
great.
That's what makes me better than everyone.
It's so humble. Yeah.
My humility. Yeah.
How about you? You were walking at the mail
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
You are a postal worker.
Doing that for a long time? And
Yeah, but, well, see, the thing is, I don't quite remember everything, right? Every now and again, I get a little bit of a cleaning done up there. Yeah.
They wipe your memories?
Yeah, you can kind of ask them to do certain things, right?
Right.
I mean, you get involved with some stuff you want to forget a little bit, and gonna be honest with you, bit foggy, depending how far back I go, but it's all right though. Yeah, you don't get attached to things and people. Makes you brave. Yeah, you're not quite scared to lose anything, right?
Do you like remember your childhood? Is that kind of
Not quite. Nah.
Do you have a family?
Yeah, I got a feeling, like a vibe of kind of what it was like. Kind of like if you like saw like a play, right, and you didn't quite know what was going on, and you kind of forgot most of it, but you still kind of know who was the good guy and who was the bad guy. The storyline's a bit fuzzy, but you got that's kind of what my mind's like for a lot of things. Yeah, it's alright though. It's great. It makes it easy for me to go out and be the brave man that I am and risk my life. Yeah.
Do you know how old you are? Keep track of the years?
No, I try not to do that. Yeah.
When's your birthday?
I don't know.
You didn't. You should have wrote that down, man.
Maybe it's tonight. We can make you a... Actually, no, I don't think.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. A whole lot of my life was
looking around the
basically
cupboards.
just running in and doing some shady stuff and being sneaky and risking my life a lot. Yeah, taking in a bunch of information that's not really meant to stay there, and it's kind of basically utilitarian kind of thing. It's
That's how you ended up
more functional.
drafted for the midst. Then.
Yeah, it's great though. It's great. I got a lot of experience.
Like being out of the office now.
It's kind of nice. Yeah, it's great. I was actually not in the office all the time. Did a lot of
You
work.
delivered my mail.
I did. Yeah, that's right. And I spied on you guys a lot too.
Yes, I did see you at a few of the shows.
Yeah, the office
Not that
job.
well. We could see you in the bush there.
When I wanted you to see me, then you could see me. Whatever. But anyway, that's basically it. I mean, it's not like I just work in the post office all day every day. It's just kind of more of a
front.
Yeah, it's a job to facilitate a job beneath it. You know what I mean? People come in, I help them with things, and it's a seed basically for the information that I get that lets me go and do other things and collect more information.
Get any information that's particularly spicy?
Oh yeah, lots.
I'm gonna have you very quickly roll a history check. It's gonna be a disadvantage because
I was gonna say I don't remember any of it, but we'll see what happens. History check at disadvantage.
pulling thoughts out of people's minds is much, much more difficult than just the common casting of, say, a fireball. And when you ask him if he's heard anything interesting, more recently you get a flash in your head of just a few key words. New player in town, but he's not from around here. Difficult to pin down. Friend? Foe? I leave it to the council. And then you kind of whip back, you hear that in the back of your mind, almost flash in, because when someone takes in a piece of information, the things that they tie to in their heads, it's so multifaceted and random. For someone to come in and excise it completely is damn near impossible.
Yeah.
You jog his memory ever so slightly, for what it's worth.
What's going on there? Your eyes kind of rolled back.
Yeah, he's having a stroke. I was just thinking, I don't quite got the whole pitch in my head, but there's something about, one of the last days I was at the post office, someone came in and they said something about a new player, and they don't quite know if it's a good guy, a bad guy. They gotta leave it up to the council, but
That voice in your head sure is
it
very...
sounded really important. Yeah, it seemed quite important, but I don't
A new
remember.
player? Would that be one of us?
Maybe
It's like a very vague horoscope. Could mean anything.
yeah, it's kind of like my life. That's what I was saying. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Your
I
whole
should go for
life
that new
is
job.
vague horoscope.
So, can you get that information back if you go back to the post office?
I mean, in theory, there is a machine that I don't know if it would work this way, but if someone puts their head into it, I can get their thoughts, right? Now, I don't know if the thought is gone from my head, except for that little bit there, or if it's just buried, or if there's pieces left that I can't. I didn't even think I had that until you jogged my memory, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I can't quite access it, but maybe someone else could access it through that.
They're just
Maybe.
blurred.
Maybe like a detect thoughts kind of spell might be able to...
Yeah, because something's there, because you just
Fish
jogged it,
that out.
right? I just don't know how much is still there, how to jog it, but if someone else could find it, maybe that might be... I mean, that's what my guys do, right? They find memories and stuff, right? So,
Yeah, so they probably have that spell.
Yeah, it sounded really important.
player in
so
town.
I'd like to kind of figure that out now that I remember what's up.
Is somebody new to town?
I don't know.
I've lived
Oh,
here
I
my
guess you
entire
wouldn't.
life, so
Does anybody have passive investigation that's over, say,
20.
13? What? Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah,
investigation
yeah.
too. I thought it was insight and perception.
My insight is 15, my perception is 20. Investigation
No.
and perception are both 20.
Whoa! Okay. All right. So when you ask like a new player in town, is that us? Like, what does that mean? What you've kind of pieced together is if someone's talking about a new player in town, there are people that come in and out of the 10th district, Ravnica proper, all the time. Tens of thousands of people, and that's just through like along the trade routes. I mean, you have the entire civilian population of the surface levels. You have all of the people in the Undercity that aren't even tracked. The sheer amount of life that is in flux in and out of the city at any given time is astronomical. So for people to pay attention to a new player, you're not talking about, oh, there's a new Azorius, captain. Oh, there's this, a new Boros sergeant in charge who's been promoted to Wojak. Oh, they're in charge of this place nowadays. It's not that
Something
thing.
bigger.
If someone's
An actual
talking
figure.
about somebody that's big, you're talking right hand of guild leader to guild leader. Somebody's trying to track their movements. These are plays that the guilds pay attention to, that affects them at their highest level of operation.
Do you know what that message was meant for?
Do I?
It's left up to the council. You know that much.
Right.
And the person who's in charge of the council is effectively Gilderoy.
Right.
So
Yeah, okay, yeah. So,
Gilderoy in the bunch.
technically Gilderoy, the guy said it was left up to the council, right? And he's kind of the guy in charge, right? I'm not quite sure if he got the message or not. I mean, I imagine he probably got it, because, pulled the thought out of my head, right?
Right.
yeah.
So we can ask him about it next time we see him, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably, hopefully nothing.
I'm sure he's got some answers, though.
Yeah, whether he tells us or not is something probably completely different. But
Yes.
I'm just gonna be working on this little poison here. If anyone wants to help me out,
I would
Yeah,
love
I could use an
to.
extra pair of hands. It's pretty sticky stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's like almost metagame, but it's not. But would I know if thoughts like the one that I just had are removed and they're gone and taken with someone, or if they are kind of extracted in a way where they're still there, but I don't really have access to them because so much of it's kind of been like the cup's been almost emptied, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Push to your subconscious.
Because I'm just trying to think of if a truth serum type of thing would allow me to or if there's some kind of
Yeah, I think that you, especially if you're spending the night, now that he's kind of retreating to making his potion, his poison, and someone's kind of coming with him and you're settling down for the night, you'd be able to think on this and kind of break it down and go play by play in your head.
I
yeah.
could discuss it with him and go through some magic spells maybe that would
Oh, to
work
kind
well.
of do what he did and kind of pick at it and actively kind of jog and activate the memory to see...
I'll be saying different magic spells if he doesn't know much about magic, and saying this spell could work maybe Granny's used a
so you can
a
break it
thought
down
spell.
he describes an arcane process, and then you knowing how magic works at its fundamental
Would try and
part,
help.
just pick it
At
apart
least
into
go
its
through my
components and
notebook,
see how it
see
works.
if I've got any spells that I've heard or that I don't use,
or
but
or
I've
if he
just
could
heard of.
if he could make something out of his little potion kit thing
Like a
that you do. I know you,
hallucinogenic to just kind of open
yeah,
your
well,
third eye.
kind of, yeah.
I left those
Cool.
mushrooms at home.
Go back
But
and get them.
collectively, could we figure that out? Do you think?
Yes, and very quick, you may have left the stable version at home, but you know that there is a lot of rotten, stinky, fermented garbage in the Undercity
Yeah.
that if you huff it, eat it, snort it, kind of do all kinds of weird things, rub it in your tongue and in your
Yeah.
gums, you can trip balls. So,
Really?
and you know that that's all over the damn place.
I picked the wrong spell. Well, if you want some of those crazy mushrooms, we could go out and search for some. It's pretty late and dangerous out there. I don't know
Well,
if
I
we
mean-
probably should. Maybe after this.
Maybe just grab a quick sleep first thing in the morning, maybe.
Yeah, maybe on our way out.
I mean, we gotta
maybe we'll see
go
some-
around anyways, maybe.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
And do you think maybe before we go to sleep, you could think of maybe some way that you could magically
Of course.
assist kind of in the process? I think it might be worth trying to get something out of me.
Absolutely.
I am going to have you do. This isn't persuade. You're not trying to be persuading, but it is a charisma roll. It's to see how well you can kind of describe and divulge the process that happens to you. It almost might be something akin to medicine. So if you could do a medicine roll for me, that'll determine how easy or hard you actually make her Arcana roll.
Oh, me do a medicine roll.
Yes.
Wow, why does it have to be medicine?
No, I'm sorry.
17.
17.
Oh, thank you.
You might not be very medically inclined, but you know your own mind. You know your thoughts, and as torn apart, shredded, addled as it may be, in its totality and as a whole product, you sift through it very easily. You are the master of the rubbish heap that is your mental state.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of overturn what you want as you please and kind of look at this, that, the other thing, any embarrassing memories, none of that is off limits to you. You know very fully who you are. And so you're able to kind of cut through to the chase and just pass on key information, relevant information to her about how it feels, what you've managed to kind of hold on to, the things that stick with you, how they're more emotional than logical, and those are the ones that stick, or things that are tied to the few other memories that you have in your life, because they're so far-reaching and webbed that little bits of these excised thoughts remain that only the biggest expert, like a mind lobotomist, would actually be able to perfectly snip and erase all traces of it. You describe that. You are going to give her advantage on her Arcana check. The DC is going to be 14.
I got a natural 20! Yay,
Nice.
plus 5!
Nice. Natural 20 plus 5?
Yeah.
25.
Okay. As he describes the process, you start to go, okay, it could be this. But that wouldn't fit. That would actually burn his mind. Like that would burn his
I don't wanna burn
memories
your
with fire.
mind.
But if you removed this, it's no different than snuffing out this. And so you start fiddling around. You have to draw all over the place, like in the dust and mud, and you take sticks and shards of stuff that are smashed, and you end up kind of laying out this arcanobabble all over the place. And by the time you're done looking at it,
It's
You-
beautiful!
Framework of his mind.
you actually realize that when someone does a kind of thought encoding or decoding, when someone actually pulls a thought out of the person's mind, they kind of get that 90-95%. In fact, if they were to go further, they end up pulling out far more. They end up pulling things that are merely associated with the memory in the first place. And so that ends up actually leading to someone's mind death. It actually rots them, not physically, but their mental state actually begins to deteriorate and become like almost psychically gangrenous. So they have to leave bits and pieces in play.
Support
They try to hide.
structures.
Yeah, there are the ideas there, and you figure if you can get to that machine, if a non-magic user can do it, you could do what you did with your rig effectively and
Make it
bing
work.
bang boom, just smash, break it to make it what you wanted, and you could effectively encode
Like-
his thoughts.
Like my little thing that I took from the Steamworks. I just put on and use it in like a different
Oh my god! With a natural 20, I will give you this. That thing is all about. It's like a regulator,
Yeah.
and it can either
switch the
it
regulator.
decreases or increases whatever effect is desired based on the thought input of whoever's putting it on. If you were to work that into the circuitry of that machine, you could kind of almost do like a pulse, like a mental mapping of his like neural network, and you could see
This is
quite
so
a bit
cool.
into his. You'd get a lot.
I would get all of his like memories as well. I'd have a lot of.
You realize as she says this, as she's like, Eureka! I can take all of your thoughts in. You're like, one, what does that leave me with? And 2,
Oh.
when I do this with a few conversations, it feels like I get punched in the head.
Yeah.
What the hell is it gonna do to you? But in theory, she has found a way.
I want to do it now.
Right. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna just take a minute and I'm gonna see if I can find a piece of paper, parchment somewhere around, something I can write with.
Yep.
I'm gonna write that down on something you can keep.
I've
That
got my
isn't
diary.
just the right. All right, great, fine. Whatever. Anyway,
What's that?
I just want to make sure that you don't forget this because this is like a natural 20 quality type of thing. I just don't want to get back there and have you forget everything. So
No,
right.
it's why I literally write every spell down, because I will forget them. I know myself.
Well, while they're doing that, we're over in a corner somewhere, carefully making a sticky concoction from one of them
Yeah,
sticky
we are.
mushrooms.
Awesome. Now, you've got a few things that you can do with that sticky mushroom. You can just kind of extract the glue from it.
Yeah.
Or what you can do is you also have the essence of another mushroom. I believe it's like
Grandis Majoris?
Grandis Majoris, that's it.
To make it stronger.
You can, and based on at what point you apply it into the process, you can either make that thing hyper adhesive, or you can make it so that it actually kind of like you throw a globule onto the floor and it just kind of inflates and kind of grows outwards. That would be up to you to decide how you want to add this, or you could do both. But
I'm going to try to make the latter. Yeah, the one that
it
expands.
expands as you throw it.
Yeah, so I'm going to use up both mushrooms.
All right.
Try to make that with
So the DC
helping me carefully hold
DC
this.
would normally be 10. You bumped it to 15. All right, and she is going to be lending you assistance.
Yeah.
What expertise do you bring to bear, Zoralia, as he's asking you to help him make...
Steady hands.
Yes.
Actually, you have
sleight of
I never
hand.
thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah, she has amazing
It's a
sleight of
violin
hand.
player is an acrobat. Yeah.
Might actually be better than your sleight of hand.
Oh yeah.
All right, I am going to have you roll for sleight of hand. And,
At advantage because I'm helping her now.
well, I would say that
With
the
proficiency
advantage is
for my
that she
poison.
has all of the night left to her.
Right.
So yeah, you can do a sleight of hand at advantage.
Okay.
You got a poisonous kid too.
12.
12. Alright, you're steadier than perhaps Endivarius would be while you're handling this stuff, but the fact that you have to be told what to do, and then there's the delay as you process it, go to do a thing, and then he has to kind of go, nope, this way. It's as steady as you are, it amounts to not much gained, not much lost. So unfortunately, you're not going to give him full-on advantage, you're merely going to give him +2.
Okay.
All right, and
Plus
what do I
2,
roll?
Andy.
Is it a sleight of hand plus a proficiency for the poisoner's kid, or just
This could be
proficiency?
sleight of hand, it could be medicine, it could be nature, yes.
Okay, medicine's good. Medicine.
Medicine it is.
Natural one. No. Oh no.
And they're in the corner just stuck together.
She has very steady hands, but when you're like, okay, I want you to apply this thing at just the right moment so that when I throw a tiny bit of this glue, it expands all over the place. Ready? Now. And you say now when it's supposed to be dropped, and then a second later, she drops it, and you're like, shit. I'm gonna ask both of you guys to make a dexterity saving throw.
This is amazing.
You can make the dexterity saving throw at advantage because you know what's about to happen, whereas she's going, I followed the instructions perfectly.
So her and I are in the corner writing on the
This
things
is
like
amazing.
natural 20, and he's like, poof.
Yeah, you're looking
doing
at
the
your
opposite.
rough notes and trying to put your rough notes into good form, and you're going, I don't even remember what I wrote there, but a rough idea is really all I need. So
yeah.
look,
I got a 20.
Oh,
oh, that
I seen
might
it coming.
actually help pull her out. What'd you get?
9.
+6.
All right, you clear it. You know that something bad is about to happen. She's smiling, going like, "Oh, I got this." the hand motion is so smooth, and you're like, you fool! I am going to have you do a strength check, and it's going to be to try to pull her. It would be athletics.
All right, just a
try to
strength
pull
check.
her
Oh,
out of the way.
athletics check.
Yeah, since you got a 20, you beat it by 5.
Athletics. Logics.
You hooligans.
Natural 1. I didn't want these dice.
Oh my god!
Give me my phone. Back.
Go on, man.
I don't even bother.
Okay, I'm so sorry,
Use her as
Aurelia,
a shield.
but you and it just it shoots out of the top of the vial and it just hits your forehead, starts going through your hair, into your horn, starts splashing onto your clothes, while he grabs and just goes here and yanks back. You hear this ripping as armor, some of the mushrooms in it start to like rip and tear off into the glue pile that's sticking straight up.
Oh no.
It's like touch the ceiling, and a bunch of silver hair is ripped into the gel. I'm gonna have you take some damage, but you are about to sleep, so you will get to dab at your bald spots. Yeah, so you take some damage. The front, maybe 2.5 inches or so of your hairline got caught in it, and he just yanked it right out of your scalp.
Oh shit!
You are probably screaming
no, oh my
like
god,
a
I'm
banshee,
so sorry.
bleeding quite profusely from the forehead.
Oh my god!
So she's like stuck in a glob right now?
No, you
She's
did
out of
kind
it.
of. It shot up out of a vial. It really went like this and just hit the front part of her body and face and head. It didn't rip out her eyelashes and things like that, or stuff like that. But yay!
So we're over there doing stuff, and we just hear, "You being a dick."
Don't come in, we're doing something.
I still look pretty, right?
That's your concern?
There's blood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hear that.
Alright, come.
What are you guys
Come
doing
over
with
here.
this blood?
I don't know if I feel
You
okay.
kind of messed up the potion, but you know,
Okay.
just come over here. We'll patch you up.
So, Vinny, are you gonna go in? And, as you open the door to the other like little shack here, you see that she is bleeding quite profusely as she like dabs at like a ripped off piece of hair, like a massive bald spot in a band, and she's touching it. Am I pretty? Am I okay?
You're okay. Let's.
Yeah. It does not look too bad.
No.
Until you grow that hair back, your character will have -2 to your charisma score.
Is there clothing here?
How long does your
Yep.
hair? How long does it take for your hair to grow
I'm gonna
back?
find.
There are
Don't
scraps
need
and
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can
They
find
look
like a
like-
pattern that looks like semi-decent. And
investigation.
yeah,
I'm so sorry.
What is that you're rolling?
15.
What is that?
Oh, that's a D12. That's not gonna help me.
Want to take the D12 back?
Ugh, yeah, I do actually. 11.
All right. So with an 11, you look around the house. You kind of go through some of the family that used to live in here. You go through some of their belongings, some of their clothes, things like that. You find a piece of fabric that is probably one of the nicer things that they owned. It looks quite nice. As you look at it, you have a passive perception, a passive investigation. You look at this and realize that the clothes that these people wear, the things that they kind of use day to day, their immune systems are astronomically higher in terms of durability than those of the surface dwellers. There is a chance that if you put this shawl about her open head wound, that some bad things down the line may occur. But it looks nice, and it would cover up that problem, and she could even do it into like a nice little headband, and it would actually look fashionable.
There's sharp things around. Scissors, knives, whatever.
Yeah, there are
Okay.
some basic knives.
I'm gonna stay up an extra like hour or so by myself, and I'm gonna take the lining out of a strip of my thing here, and I'm just gonna see if I can get some of that glue stuff and just like put it on the underside so that it's a nice clean strip of fabric on the inside.
There is a tube out of like a glass vial on the floor that's just shot up and stuck to the ceiling, and you kind of move her hair aside and just get a little bit of glue, apply that.
Yeah, fold it over so that it seems nice and make it look pretty on the one side and functional on the other side where it's clean, and tie a little bow, and then I'll give it to her right before I go to sleep.
Is the armor like wrecked? Destroyed?
I've got mending, so I can.
Yeah, if you do mending on it, you would actually be able to kind of reverse that damage. Does mending require any components for you to expend?
1 second.
It's all like torn up at the back and stuff?
No, it was only the front that got hit. Only her front got touched by this stuff.
Just lodestones.
Oh, it
need
requires
two
lodestones.
I
Okay.
have lodestones.
No, I don't have them at the moment.
You don't.
Oh, I have a
And
pouch.
wait,
I have a
mending
pouch.
applies to inorganic
component.
material.
Ah.
You are wearing living armor. He would be the one who would be able to fix it, and he would be able to fix it with healing spells.
Oh.
Never thought of that.
As long as he went out and found the mushrooms the next day, he's finding you psychotropics and you armor replacements.
Nice.
But yes, until then, the armor is -1 for its value. So I believe it was studded leather. Now it's 1 armor point less.
Okay. I just wanted to bring you something here. You're pretty, but it's not as much right now. I'm gonna give you this here. It's a little bow. It's got some pretty like pattern fabric on it.
Oh wow, thank you.
Yeah, make sure you put the black side against the skin there. Yeah, the padded part's probably a little bit gross here.
Oh, thank you. If you keep going like this, though, you're not going to have much of that coat left.
I got a lot of it there. She's missing a piece on the inside. Yeah, it makes me a bit sad. It's alright.
Veneer, you are a master of making costumes for all kinds of different roles. And every once in a while, you have to take on the airs of someone who is some ways above your station in life. So you actually have an eye for fashion. And you are also good, more importantly, at improvising it when you have to. So I'm going to have you roll performance real quick. And see just how good of a job you do.
Not that good.
If you see like Zoralia put it on wrong, you could be like, nope.
11.
Trying a cute little bow.
11. With an 11, it is a lovely accessory, but it doesn't actually add anything more, but it does erase the damage that's been done to her hairline and her head. It is both a lovely bandage as well as something that looks nice. So you no longer have that -2 to charisma while you're wearing that.
Nice.
How are you feeling though? Sorry about that. I thought I had a better hold of you.
You had a really good hold of her.
I'll be okay.
Not mad.
It will grow back. I'm a little bit dizzy, and maybe I lost a lot of blood, but if you wanted to heal me just to make up for it, that would be alright.
You'll do that.
Yeah, I can. Let's see if I got some spell slots.
So are we good?
Maybe tomorrow. You just hold off tonight.
And just sleep it off, yeah.
No, I think I got some spells here. Yeah, I can cast a. How about a healing word? How much are you hurt?
I don't know how much might hurt.
All right. We'll say. Oh, you took 1 point of damage.
Oh, you're right. There's
okay.
6 hit points. You good as new.
Yes.
Well, maybe we'll try with someone else next time. Any volunteers?
Yeah.
You're in. Yeah.
You've got less hair to lose.
It's true.
Yeah.
No. I'm not losing any more hair.
We'll see.
I don't know. You look like you're up for anything.
How did that even happen?
No. I don't even know.
You see,
what did you
when I said
guys
drop
do?
it, I meant drop it now. But you kind of hesitated and did it later. Timing was all off.
Did you say go or did you say drop on 1?
I think I said go. And you were supposed to
You
go.
said drop it, and then I went, and I dropped it.
Anyways.
And then you tried to rip my face off.
Oh, I'm tired. Big day. Big day.
Alright, I'm gonna get to sleep.
That was really sweet of you to do the head.
Thanks.
That was really sweet. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not dick.
No.
Alright, night guys. I'm gonna go find a corner somewhere that doesn't have a window or anything. If I could find like a, I don't know, like a closet or something.
Yeah, these people are used to spending most of their lives in perpetual darkness. So, yeah, there are plenty of places where you can kind of nestle yourself into a very sturdily built corner.
Cool.
These guys don't really show off their house to visitors.
I'm gonna go there too.
Figured no window's probably a good idea.
Go and spoon in the corner.
Well, I just want somewhere safe.
Next to
Is-
Meat shield!
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys go and find a nice kind of sturdy corner to this little kind of dolloped house of clay and dirt and ruin and stone. And you guys have a nice little spot. Are you guys sleeping anywhere in particular? Just
Do they have a kitchen?
they do.
Can I go into the kitchen and see if there's anything to make a cake? A little cake.
Oh no.
You look around.
You know,
and-
The
It's
house
like-
is going
I
to
mean, he
explode.
did use all of the spices. So-
It doesn't need
Don't
like,
eat the
It could be
spices.
really bland and basic. It's just.
Yeah. You open a drawer, and I think, to your horror, you would realize that any cake you could make here for Veneer would be the opposite of bland. It would be too flavorful, as a lot of the things are still living. You have like jars full of insects of various kinds with more legs than you care to count, all just kind of writhing and pulsating in sacks, jars,
Don't make
cans.
me a cake.
Like you open one thing up and it just like, and you just close it back up like, no, I'm good.
His birthday will be on the 7th, not the 6th.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll do it
one
another
day.
day. Yeah, we'll wait another day. It's okay.
I'll be like lurking behind her. What are
And then
you
I'll-
doing?
I want to make Vinny a cake.
Why?
Because he doesn't have a birthday. Do you have a birthday?
I don't know. What do you do cakes for? You eat cake?
You never did. You've never had a birthday party?
No.
Oh my goodness, you have to have a birthday party. They're the best thing in the entire world. You invite your friends, or in my case, you have Granny. And then.
Aw.
It's a
then-
day when grannies make cakes.
Yeah. Grannies make cakes for you, and then they sing happy birthday, and then you blow out the candles, make a wish, and hope the house doesn't explode.
That sounds
Sparktova cake.
a little scary, but you want to make a cake for Veneer?
Yeah? If you've never had a birthday, I'll make a cake for you too. Your birthday could be together.
We will have a joint birthday.
Twins.
Yeah!
I will help you make a cake.
I bet you'd be amazing at making cakes. Is there like a demon cake? Or a
I don't
Azorius
know.
cake? Well, let's do it.
Okay.
And then I'll just go and sleep in a cupboard, maybe. Like, pour all the stuff.
You go, let's do that. As you're
Yeah.
putting aside all of this like food that's
Are
still
we going to use that to make a
wriggling.
cake?
No, that's
Oh.
not good to make a cake.
Oh, okay.
We'll have your birthday tomorrow or the next day.
Whenever it's
That'll- Yeah, whenever
Yeah,
it's
maybe
birthday.
after we find Andovarius' dad.
Yeah, we have to find his dad first.
Oh yeah.
Maybe his dad's birthday is soon, and he could bring.
Maybe we could just have a giant birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah. We make a really big cake and everyone can have some. Okay.
All right. So you kind of clear out the cupboard of all of these like sucking, wiggling things, and then you kind of crawl in there and close it up, nestle in. It's quite nice. It's
cozy
nice
for
and
me.
dark and cozy
Better.
and very private.
I am not going to sleep in a cupboard.
All right.
I will take the first watch, actually.
Okay.
Sit and listen for stuff.
Good. And I imagine you just find they do have beds. Like
Yeah,
they're beds. It's a house.
I'll find a bed.
All right, cool. You find a bed and all on into it. Use the covers. It stinks to high heaven. It's a lot rougher on your skin than you would like, but it's better than the floor. And the floor smells just as bad, if not worse. So you kind of throw that over, and you guys all drift away in your own time, thinking as you are about why you're out here and who you're out here with, and kind of resolve to see this through. if not for yourself, then for these other people, or maybe even an ideal of the Mets. You guys have leveled up with this long rest, and you guys get to fill back up on all of your spell slots expended, your hit dice, health points, all those weird and wonderful things.
Yay.
Yay.
You took the first watch, Andavarius, and nothing really crazy happened during your watch, and you would know better than anyone. I mean, it's so dark here literally all the time that nocturnal animals don't really make sense down here. They're always active.
Yeah.
So you realize that a lot of it is just noise. And you kind of, the rest of these guys keep quiet. Nothing happens during your watch.
It's regular noise.
And since she took all of the creatures out of the cupboard, now there's no barrier. You just hear like that, all of these different noises and things all night, and you're like,
Gross. Disgusting.
makes your mouth water. All right. And you kind of get asleep. Veneer trusts in his defenses, and these guys trust in the power of a good night's rest.
Right.
You guys all wake up at what you assume must be something like morning time. Really, it's your biological clock more than anything that lets these guys know to wake up at the right time. Because otherwise they would be completely lost here. They would sleep in hours past. But you're the one who kind of goes to sleep last and wakes up earliest.
Okay.
Right? You guys are...
Alright, wake up, guys.
Yep.
Got more traveling to do.
Alright, let's get some of them drugs. The mushrooms, yeah.
Ooh, yes, let's find some of those.
Yeah.
Well,
Now-
let's find my dad. How about...
No,
if
first
we find
breakfast.
some-
Fun mushroom breakfast, and then we go. We need to fill our bellies. So we be stronger.
Let's see what we find on the way.
Now, this was not the best sleep in the world that you could have possibly had, so I'm going to have you guys do constitution saves based on how you described where you were finding a place to sleep. So, Veneer, you were kind of sleeping in a corner, which was very good for your, ease of mind, but very hard on your body. So I'm going to have you do a constitution saving throw. You were actually sleeping in a rather comfortable spot, but considering what's happened to yourself in that time, I'm going to have you do a charisma saving throw. You wake up and you feel very warm. You feel like you're being hugged all over your body. And you feel nice and comfortable.
It's bugs.
Oh.
It's bugs.
Oh.
You open the drawer and all these things are just like moving under your clothes or around you, and you just... It's not fun. I'm going to have you do a wisdom saving throw. Andavarius, honestly, this is
God.
just like a minor. You're kind of used to this place.
I got a 9.
I would say that you're actually kind of good.
Okay.
I got a 9.
I rolled a 1.
I got a 7.
These dice are winning over here.
A 9, a 1, and a 7.
9!
Come on,
A
guys.
scream from inside the drawer.
Yeah. And when you whack that first one to get it up, you realize it's under. Not on the clothes, under, next to your body, and you hit it and just kind of squirts in there, and it just makes it worse. When you grab them off, you hope to God that it's hard to pull them off because their little clawed little digits have gotten into the fabric of your clothes rather than them having leached onto you or
What?
something. You barely look because you just rip.
What spell would I automatically think to use on it?
Fireball!
With a
Fire,
wisdom of
electricity.
7. Okay, so I do a little like chromatic orb of electricity on myself.
Alright.
Basically then.
Okay.
Oh no, or a firebolt
Yes.
on myself.
I would say the electricity would be the better of the two to do this,
Okay,
because it would arc to all of them.
okay.
Okay, so
I might be knocked out in the...
as you cast Chromatic Orb, you have an insulated suit, and you've done this to yourself more times than you can count. You'll count as having resistance against the
And I
source
have,
of your
I
own.
have resistance because of Granny shocking everyone as well.
Exactly. So you have resistance to this, but go ahead and cast it.
7. Oh no, do I have to see if I can hit?
Yeah.
Or is it because it's on myself, it's okay?
You're going to automatically pretty much hit them because you're
Yeah.
automatically hitting yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
so you will take the damage.
3, plus 4. 6, 12, 13.
13 cut in half.
13 plus 4.
So 17 cut in half.
If I can, then yes.
Okay, so that's 8 points of damage that you take. And as you kind of touch, and all of these grubs
I'm
just
good.
electrify
Luckily.
away, you did a... Some might say that wasn't a smart move, but by the time these crisped bodies kind of shake out of your shirt, you realize that more than the kind of static that's coming off of your head, there were little bite marks and things like that. So getting them off as quick as possible was the better choice.
I
And
was
there are
down
some
in
that
the way
have
that I
gotten
hurt myself. But...
nestled a little bit further in than you may have liked, so those ones you're glad you got rid of.
Oh,
All right.
What the hell's going on in that cupboard?
Yeah, just lightning erupts into the kitchen.
In better insulated houses.
If I hear one more person scream and then a boom, we're getting out. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's not okay.
I was being by bugs. I don't like it down here, Vinny.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of
bad.
gross.
Sure, they were just having a little taste and then they would have moved on. You didn't have to fry yourself.
A little taste. They were burrowing into my skin.
Yeah. Just a
Really
bit.
gross
It
down
would have
here. I
been
miss the
Raymond all over
surface.
again.
Golgari bedbugs are like literally lethal. Like thousands of people die every year from Golgari bedbugs biting.
You gotta build that tolerance.
It was a common bug as well. It wasn't a bed bug.
What about you for your natural one?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, so explosion of lightning blows the hinges off of the cupboard. You go to address that. You did not sleep well. You are racked with nightmares as you were kind of going into your sleep, wondering and worrying. So you tossed fitfully back and forth. Every once in a while, you even in your maybe subconscious, you're kind of picking at it, touching it.
So
By the
many
time
memories.
you wake up and try to kind of move the bandage off to see how things have... Oh wait, you gave her the healing word, so it's not like open, it hasn't scabbed up or anything. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. So you kind of pull that off and feel that this is a real thing that's happened to you now, and you have gotten by a lot thanks to the way you look. When you had to leave the Azorius and make your way through both their territory and the Orzhov-controlled precinct, and then make your way through the smelting ward until eventually getting accepted into the midst, a whole hell of a lot of that was down to you looking as you do. And you don't look that way anymore. When it comes to charisma ability checks, you will have disadvantage for the following day, and then we'll roll to see if you come to accept it day by day.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
And you just failed by 1.
Yeah.
So as you kind of go, what's going on? If I hear any more screaming and you're just holding in screams, you know what? I'm going to have you roll a d6 on a 1-2. It'll be strength. On a 3-4, it'll be constitution. And on a 5-6, it'll be your dexterity.
4.
Okay, you have a -1 to your constitution.
You're already so.
It's already a -1.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
Oh, God.
It's -2.
So the modifier?
Just for now.
No, -1 to the stat as written.
Okay.
All right, Antivarius.
Yeah, everybody good to go? I mean, I'm waiting.
Woo woo!
Yeah, no, I'm great.
Sun's out, bugs out. Go.
Never better.
I'm just gonna walk out the door.
Yeah.
Walk right past the screaming and the and just
You open the door, the bag of ball bearings just and it goes and gets stuck. The frame of the door gets stuck in the tube of glue, and you're just why?
picking up my ball bearings.
There's any ball bearings everywhere.
I'm getting it.
Everybody pick up some ball bearings. Come on.
I'll just be holding on to Andy and crying about the bugs.
I'll pick up a bunch of ball bearings and put them in my pocket.
Nice.
Hey, what the fuck? Those are my ball bearings.
I'm gonna have you guys do a little bit of a race. It's gonna be
Hungry
initiative
hippos.
versus initiative.
Oh no.
8.
Oh god.
The one time you get a natural 20.
15.
No.
All right, so you're like picking up the ball bearings that have slipped out through the door into the muck, like the sludge outside. So you're like having to dig around while she's just going picking them up off of the floor. There are a few that have stuck in that tube of glue that she just like takes them off. At the end of this, she has as many ball bearings as you do. You guys both have a collection of 500 or so ball bearings, which means you guys can both use that item.
Nice.
But the DC for that item is now reduced. It was 10, I believe. It's going to be -3, so the DC is now 7 when you use that.
I'll just be hitting them with my mushroom stick to get a little closer to you. I'm gonna bend over.
Are you gonna give me aid?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna help him?
Yeah.
All right, then you have advantage.
Yeah. 14.
No. Split about 50-50.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, because he helps you by going like and like sticking his thing, just like he was collecting the coins.
Yeah.
He just like grabs them and then drops them near you. Just like hand into your hand and just drops it onto the floor and it rolls around.
It rolls over to me.
Let's go.
Good morning, everyone. What else would you like to do now that you've opened the door and recovered the ball bearings and the door is stuck open in a tube of glue from floor to ceiling and you've gotten a whole bunch of dead cook bugs that smell delicious?
Yeah,
She
try to
made
pick-
breakfast.
I'm gonna try to pick up the trail again.
All right. You step out the front door and
Rashad, where'd you go?
try to pick up the trail. All right. So you have a few options here for what you want to pick up on. You can either try to sense like his arcane fingerprint if he's used magic here within the past day or so. You can, whenever someone does a mana prod on something like a fungus, it's a piece of them. It's kind of like they interacted with it, and it does have an arcane presence that you can read to an individual, especially if you're familiar with them. So you could do it that way with Arcana. You can straight up do it with Survival
I
as
just did,
tracking
yeah,
them.
survival. Just gonna try to find those mushrooms that he lays behind.
All right.
All right, nobody step on anything. Give me a minute. Benny?
What?
You're there on your hands and knees picking up ball bearings.
Come on,
Don't
Rashad,
step in
where
anything.
are you? All right, that's a 21.
Ooh.
There
As,
you went, you son of a bitch.
as you look out over the rot farm, trying to find like the traces of his passage through this place, something sticks out to you more than anything. You
It's her
realize, what's the oh god? No, well, in your periphery, you're like, no. Eye on that. You move the mushroom cap so that she's not distracting. But you realize that before these people were overtaken by the fungal animate zombies or fungus elementals, whatever they were, they had to breach defenses. And these defenses, you can see them colored up. They bear these bright colors, these kind of certain patterns of growth that you've seen your father actually use to protect your own estate, your own gardens. This is something that these guys couldn't pull off. There are rarer things here, and they're grown far beyond what is actually what they're able to do just in the wild. Somebody did this with mana to assist it in its growth process. And you realize that your father actually passed through this field, through this house. He's the one that actually reinforced the defenses before moving on. And you can see that there is a spot where some footprints have only just, like humanoid footprints, have mostly filled in, but not filled in entirely. The muck will eventually settle to the flat, but he's been here recently. You can still tell the direction that he left off in.
Nice, I know which way he went.
Oh, good, let's go.
Let's
Get
go
away
get
from the
him.
bugs.
One thing first. I just want to go visit those people we buried last night, see if anything grew there. Maybe grab a couple of things. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go to those bodies, see what grew overnight, if anything.
All right.
Okay, bye.
It's just, I'm still right here.
Yeah, you hop
the
and skip
corner.
out the
I
door.
said goodbye.
As you approach their little gravesite, I'm going to have you roll Arcana, because you did cast somewhat of a spell. Maybe not a spell consciously, but the imparting of your mana into the fungus when you first spread it on the graves to make it grow is arcane.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. As you walk towards their graves, something stands out to you immediately, and you realize what it is even before they've broken the cover of the kind of film that's kind of stuck over them and congealed to their frames. The bodies that were buried some feet deep below, you can see the outline almost of some kind of arm, a shoulder moving to muck that kind of conceals the general shape of a head. These things aren't floating to the surface either, because the closer you get, you kind of feel that excitement rise through you as your tremors through the muck and mire as you suck your way to them they seem to twitch in time to your steps.
Oh,
Things
easy, boy.
Things are wiggling under the film.
Look at you grow.
These are rot farm skeletons.
Nice. Let the other one see you, will we? You just be a good boy. Eat what you can. I'll be back later.
Yes, rot farm skeletons can happen naturally from time to time, and they are dangerous guardians. They have absolutely no care whatsoever for their own life, since they don't really have it, but they keep a certain vengeance to them, a certain living anger and hate. They are very, very effectively used as like an offensive kind of shock troop and as a means of really aggressively pursuing someone who might trespass. These are not just shambling zombies. There's something special here in these people. Whatever emotions they felt when they were killed were strong enough to make them a higher form of undead. But they're still forming. They're not finished.
You're not quite ready yet. Still pretty impressive. Alright, I'll go back to the other group. Nope, nothing back there, guys. My luck.
Passive insight is 20. So I'm going to have you roll a deception because you're actually trying to
Passive
deceive
insight
them.
is 15. My
Yeah, if you'd
investigation and
If you'd
perception
said
is 20.
nothing, we
right.
would have probably believed you more.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll deception and various.
Oh, I'm so good at this. A 2.
You guys see him returning. He's actually like skipping, holding his little parasol umbrella, smiling ear to ear. Nothing here. As he's traipsing through the mud.
You bastard.
What?
I'm gonna go take a leak. I'm gonna go to see what he saw.
Yeah, you beeline it as you're going to
not
take a
over
leak.
there.
He's about to pee on the remains of the family.
Don't pee on the graves.
You just lived in.
Why?
What's over there?
No, the bodies. And I couldn't get anything to grow.
While he's distracted, you find out what is there. You can see as you're kind of stepping closer to them, you have a lighter step than Andavarius, but at the same time, when you kind of look over at him, the reaction to him approaching as opposed to you is markedly different. That's not a good sense. Something is like, and it looks like these humans are like kind of pushing up at this film, and it's just congealed fat layers and rot fibers and
Gross.
things that are just holding it back until like a bony, fleshy finger kind of sticks out, but the meat is already rotten enough and decomposed since he sped up the process that it kind of sloughs off of the fingertip and it's just a bone tip. But these things do not like you being close to them. There's 2 bodies though that are writhing under the dirt. Well, under the sludge.
So, if these things, like, make it, they're probably gonna attack me or us at some point.
You would assume.
Yeah, all you know is that there is a human-shaped thing that is dead, that is not quite dead, that is trying to get at you from under the muck.
Andy.
Yeah, I'm gonna run over there and get between you two. Whoa, okay, whoa.
This is not nothing. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing. See that? That's something.
Right. I said I didn't get any mushrooms to grow, and I wasn't lying. But I seem to have inadvertently animated these fine people.
Yeah, so nothing.
But they seem to be at least friendly to my commands. See, they kind of track my movements.
They do, yeah.
Alright.
We are connected.
Alright.
They're not going to hurt you. We just leave them alone.
Well, wait. I'm gonna kind of around them a little bit, see if I get them a little stirred up.
Yeah,
And
as soon as you start calming them down, you go moving like this, and they become agitated once more.
Vinny.
Now, wait.
Please.
You try to calm them down.
Uh-huh.
You show me
I
that
can.
they... Okay,
And
do
you
it.
try to anger them up.
No, I'm just making some general movement. So I need to make sure that if they come alive, right, that you can say, don't do something bad to this guy, and they're not going to do something bad to this
Okay.
guy. So why don't you just
Fair
show me
enough.
that?
Just step back.
Yep.
Step back.
Yep.
More.
I'll step back. I'll step back one step. You tell them right now, and I want to see them listen to you.
All right.
History check for me, Andavarius, as you're telling him to kind of back off.
That's a 9.
Yeah. All you know is that rot farm skeletons are not a base. They are not a lower form of undead. They have a self-centered form of animus to them. So while they will obey your commands, while you are directly overseeing them, they don't just shut off and fall apart when you're not there.
Right.
The kids be
And
like,
they're not
I
nuts.
didn't think
He'd be like, never touch these guys, and they'll just listen forever.
So you know of a couple stories
Mhm.
of when a necromancer who has risen these things to guard his house, when he's met an untimely end, what they end up doing is just slaughtering all of the household staff and stuff like that. So
As long as I'm alive. We can get the... Hey, are you calm? You calm now, buddy? Hey, yeah. Hey.
and it curls up into like
there
a
you
fetal
go.
position. You can see,
Has he kind of
Almost-
dug his way out yet?
honestly, it's like a 2-inch almost mat. It's almost like a foam, like a squishy soaked foam that's kind of covering over them. Because a rot farm is just congealed mess.
Okay.
Can I do a history check?
Slop. They're kind of held in by suction more than anything, really. It's like trying to get a boot out of the mud. What are you trying to do?
Can I do like a history or insight or something to see if I can? I just want to see how much I understand what they're going to do interactive wise with me. If he's like not if he like goes to take a leak somewhere, and these things are animate.
How about you
I'm
just
gonna
stay
have-
away?
I'm gonna have you do a history check, actually, because the Demir have... Well, part of their job is to infiltrate Golgari places, so you would come across
8.
something.
Yeah.
You don't... To you, it's all undead. To you, you're not sure what the hell this is.
Look, I got him to calm down. They'll be good. He's actually going to protect this location for us, right? Look, you gonna watch it?
I'm gonna do this again.
Roll a persuasion. Yeah, so you're going, ooh, well, listen, you're gonna be good. You're gonna watch this place.
Persuade. Okay. Okay. Persuasion. Man, I got a lot of zeros. That's 18 though.
As you try to calm this person down and ask them if they can protect this place for you while you're gone, and you're trying to
It is
agitate
their
it,
place after.
that finger that's sticking out kind of it breaches, and it like it's almost like something giving birth, where out of like a fluid containing sac, it just kind of pops, and then a bunch of rot kind of pours out, stinks terribly,
Gonna help it
absolutely
up.
awfully.
Come up.
But the hand kind of comes out, you grab on and start to pull it out, and as you do, it gives you a thumbs up
Oh,
before you've pulled it fully out, but you can see that it's spread its arms and its legs out. It doesn't want to get pulled out yet.
See?
Yeah, you
All
see
right.
him go, I'll help you, you'll protect this, right? And it give a skeletal hand with like dripping flesh. You can see tendons, venery,
I don't like
things
this.
moving
It's
about in
alright.
it, but it's thumbs up and you.
Hey, we need allies.
Alright.
Dead or alive.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave. Go back to these guys.
what is over there?
There's
good.
some deadly
We'll be
zombie
back.
thing.
And
He's
like
got a
the
zombie.
people in their
Yeah.
bed before they were dead, this person grabs the kind of open tear in that film, pulls it over their form. Almost like
Best.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that they're not gonna kill us at some point, but
You have zombies?
Not on my own, I can't really make them, but it seems that the concoction of spores I kind of poured on them helped.
Okay.
I've honestly never done that before, but it was pretty cool.
very reassuring.
It does sound cool, but that sounds terrifying at the same time.
I've seen
That
my
sounds really
father.
dangerous.
Yeah, my father. He could do this. He was quite good at it. He kind of.
We should go and find him.
I saw him do it a few times.
So if
yeah.
we go and find him, maybe he can actually help.
Yeah, maybe you can teach me more.
Yeah, let's find him.
Help
See
us.
if, yeah.
Help us with what?
He can fix your mistake of reanimating them.
It's not a mistake.
Let's just find out just how safe they really are. And then
Yeah.
we'll decide if it's a mistake or not.
All right.
Yeah.
This way.
so. You guys are following the trail.
Mm-hmm.
Of
I
Rashard?
will lead the way. You guys.
I'll be close behind you.
Awesome.
And also be looking out for those psychotropic mushrooms.
I'll help him investigate. Or if he gives me the info on what they look like, I'll just keep an eye out as I walk around.
Very good. So he is going to help you with a nature roll. So I'm going to have you do the nature roll. Because
Okay.
you're kind of surveying everything.
Advantage
You,
on that.
yes, you, because he's aiding you.
Okay, that is a 14.
Not bad. Okay, so as you're kind of overlooking their pool of just bubbling guck, you kind of look over it and you can see that there are things growing all over the place. And in one spot, it's a little bit tucked away. It's not with the rest of the field. And maybe it wasn't
They're
supposed to be seen. Somebody is growing.
Camo over.
Yeah, there's something there, but the thing has kind of fallen off since the family is no longer there to kind of keep things as they want them. And there are some psychotropic mushrooms growing on a patch of the rot farm in such quantity that brings to question whether it's purely by accident that those are there. So you're like, let's see what you're up to, guys. Let's see what's going on.
Smell that,
You
Vinny?
find a
There's
good
a-
harvest, purposely grown.
You see why this is why your dad made a pit stop here.
Very well could be, yeah. He was very fond of these. Go on little trips, you know, here and there.
What kind of trips? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We just pick them? Is that what we do?
Before you guys can even get to them, there is the problem of navigating what a rot farm is. You see that there are only two stilts, two sets of stilts, because there were only two people living here. So, navigating this, it might have the illusion of some kind of solidness, but it's almost like a non-Newtonian fluid where when you hit it in a certain way, it'll hold.
Okay.
But if you were to stop, it starts to pull and suck and drag you down. It is deep. It creates a lot of heat, steam, bubbles. There are very few stable footholds here, and that's why one of the first things that rot farmers build are their pairs of stilts to kind of walk through their stuff and scoop up the choicest bits of decomposition.
Well, Vinny,
There's only enough
there's
for
those
two.
mushrooms you wanted. They're all right over there.
Don't send it to his dad.
We'll wait here.
With your passive perception, you notice that it would kill you.
It would kill him.
If he steps the wrong way, yeah, he would get stuck, and then if no one helped him, he would just get dragged down.
Is it because people are heavier and a light person would be better?
A light person would navigate this a little bit better,
Some
yes.
snowshoes.
Yeah.
That would help as well.
Okay,
Then we got Mage Hand.
I'm gonna. Sadly, I should have got Mage Hand. I really should have. But can we make some snowshoes? I can just walk over there. Like, big floppy shoes.
Yeah, we could probably take some of those boards off the house. I mean, how far back's the house now?
Not very far. You guys
Okay.
are within like 50 feet of it.
Okay, sure.
Sweet.
You go
A
back.
couple straps on it.
Yeah.
Get your feet in there.
Grab a couple of doors and just lay them out flat, like a little dock.
And I can just like scoot over the little doors on my feet.
Awesome. All right.
Cupboards.
So
Cupboard doors.
as you kind of start ripping the house apart, you kind of throw a door down on what you consider solid ground, and it goes out a little bit. You kind of rope the next section of door from the other part of the house, the partition, that's forward. So you've got a good 10 feet of kind of pier that's floating out on this, like, you can see
Yeah.
that it has like a tide to it almost, like a,
Okay.
kind of jello that hasn't fully sit
I'm
I'm gonna
properly.
take some cupboard doors and tie them to her feet like
Nice.
snowshoes.
Nice, you wrap those
Can I borrow
around.
your gloves?
Yeah.
I don't want to touch them.
I'll tie a rope around her too.
Very good.
Would I know if it would like actually go through the skin, that kind of thing? So she
She
needs
is
gloves?
light, and she is dispersing her
No,
weight.
No,
when I-
the mushrooms.
touch
Those
it.
mushrooms you can take out very,
Yeah,
very
you don't
easily.
need
They're
gloves.
rooted
Oh,
in
okay.
like gruel,
Mhm.
so it's you just
Oh,
Comes
I
out
just didn't
real
want to
easy.
get high.
Just fill
I
this
feel
whole
like
bag.
me high wouldn't be good. Okay.
That's a
all
lot.
right.
I need a bag.
All right, we'll watch and we're ready.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Rope tight.
Okay,
Tie around me.
you've got a
Go
good
in.
Hey guys,
got a good 30 feet
Okay.
from the end of the pier to
I'm
To
I'm
the-
walking very, very slowly.
Before she goes, I'm going to look her in the eye and give her a big ol' wink.
Ah.
nice.
You are now inspired.
and everybody, I'm just gonna tie this knot right. Ready? Yeah. Can everybody inspect the knot?
Yeah.
Everyone to take a good, nice, long look at the knot. Is that
I will
tight?
do
Is that
that.
good? Is it... Yeah.
Yes, it is
good knot.
perfect.
Good knot.
Fantastic.
Between the whole bunch of you, she's tied up
I'm
as
not
good as can
gonna
be.
die.
You guys have a good quality rope
I'm
that you
not
have.
gonna die. I'm not gonna die.
Not gonna
You're
die.
standing there. You've got your cupboards tied to your feet, your gloves on,
Big gloves.
goggles. Okay.
You
Ready?
can do this. You'll be fine.
And you start your walk.
Yes.
Awesome. You said
Run.
you were going slowly,
Run.
yeah?
Yes, very
Run.
slowly. I don't care.
He's
if
got the
takes
right of
half
it.
an
As you
hour.
start to go
Oh,
and start stepping slowly,
Like-
all of a sudden, at first, you take one step, two step, and you're like, it's happening. And then as you lift your foot, you're only a few feet from the edge of this like floating door pier, but it just kind of, you like snap. The kind of elasticity of the kind of membrane that covers this thing, and it starts to, like, vanilla pudding just getting squeezed
Quick.
out over the
yeah,
lip of
running.
your cupboard shoe.
Well, she's dead.
What do you do?
running.
You start running? Okay.
running.
I'm gonna have you do an athletics check to see if you can rip that boot out from the inch that's kind of sucked around the edge of it.
So she's still like just right there.
Yep.
I'm gonna assist her by just whacking her with my staff across the ass.
Alright, he gives you advantage
Little
by
lift on that.
gives you a tap on the butt.
That's a D12.
Yeah.
Roll this one instead. Yeah, 19 plus
Minus
something.
1.
Minus 1.
18.
Okay.
Go quickly!
With an 18, you see her start to sink and you're like, run! Whap! It's just placed firmly between the cheeks and just whoosh! And the knot that you checked for your rope, the knots that you tied for those cupboard doors to her feet, you're lucky they are of the same quality because it looks like her heel lifts off and you're like, oh god, she's gonna step with a freaking cupboard door. And then the whole thing comes up and she pad. This is difficult terrain. And when I say difficult terrain, when you're walking on sand and you get tired because your feet are sinking, that is not even close to how hard this is. You are slipping, sliding, paddling, hitting, breaking the surface. I gotta have you do a constitution.
Oh, I'm
Check.
gonna cast Expeditious Retreat.
Nice! Expeditious
as
retreat,
that
you cast
happens.
it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
now
I
you
get the
can...
bonus of running, and I can run double my speed. So I can now go 50 feet, and then another 25 feet.
Awesome.
I can do 75
Fastest
feet.
little
in
cupboard
one go.
door runner.
In
So-
one go, I can do 75 feet.
As your foot starts to sink, you're like, oh my god, I need to run. And you start thinking of the spell, and when Andavarius, a fellow magic user, whacks you with his staff in between the legs, you just kind of, and out, your thought kind of sparks your Mizium rig, and without actually going through the motions of casting the spell properly, it's just, you get suffused in like all the crackle and sparks, and you just, your hair lifts up, you just, And it's the weirdest sound as you guys are laughing as it's just like swap, wap, wap, slap, blap, blap. It's just almost like spanking like a water balloon over and over again with a very small woman. She's just blah, 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 blah,
Almost
until
there.
you get right next to the mushrooms where you can grab onto a support and then you can start to pick a bunch.
At least there was support by the mushrooms.
All right, yes, there is a little bit of a support where you can
So,
rest. Whoever
I'll
kind
hold
of
on.
used the stilts to come out here would get
Get
off
the
of them
red
now.
ones.
Red ones? Okay, I'll look around for red ones.
They are all a damn near uniform shade of red.
Okay. I'll just
A lot of them.
grab as many as I can, put them on the bag,
All right,
and
So-
then attach it to my belt and...
you kind of grab a whole bunch and they just give them a little shake, get some of the... It's like a river, it's like a pool full of pus. So you just kind of shake that off, put it in the bag, take all of this stuff, nutrient rich anyway. So you kind of put that in a bag, tie it off. All right, ready to go? She runs back, and I'm going to have you do, as you are running across on these stilts, across this uneven, wobbling, you're kind of, this thing is no longer still because you've run across it. On the way back, it's like undulating, and that makes putting your feet a little bit harder. I'm gonna have you do an acrobatics check.
Advantage still?
No.
No,
Okay.
see,
This is
got
to
you
kind
away
of
there,
keep
yeah.
your footing so that you don't fall.
Oh,
You have bardic inspiration too.
Oh, advancing inspiration, what's
Thank
that?
goodness.
I
It adds a d6.
Oh, adds...
Or is it a D?
It's a
Roll the
1.
natural one.
Oh, it's a natural one.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you gather those mushrooms, and then you prepare yourself, and you go, "Huh," and you start running. And as you go to run, the tip of your planking kind of catches under the sludge, and just you guys just watch her go, and very quickly, magically assisted speed, just go whap, it's like a cartoon character where they kind of go from the one frame to the next frame. She just,
slap.
I'm going to grab the rope and run in the opposite direction, like away from it. I'm just dragging her to the plank.
So she's on the surface, and then you just Veneer just starts booking it and just it's, it's like you're pulling an anchor along the floor through all this silt and seaweed, except this is like bones of rotten animals, organs, like a bladder just kind of builds up on your head. It's all catching in your museum rig, and all of the sparks coming off of her rig is like partially cooking it, so it smells like burned fat and hair and nastiness, just hot garbage as you're pulling her through.
I'm gonna run towards her and be ready to heal her when she gets
Awesome.
to the edge.
So,
And I'll help pull the rope if it's
Okay.
looking pretty tough.
whichever one of you has the biggest athletics, you're getting advantage because you guys are helping each other out.
That would be you.
+3.
Yeah, my athletics is good.
Yeah, it's not terrible. 11.
Okay, you're making progress, and you're pulling her closer and closer. You pull her 10 feet, because there's 30 feet, so you're a third of the way there. But you realize that while you are making progress still, she is... Her weight, as you guys are pulling her through, she's kind of sinking lower. She is fully submerged by about a foot now under all of this. So you are still pulling forward. What are you doing?
How far away is she from the edge?
20 feet.
20 feet. Could I just maybe like yank the rope that's in front of me and try to pull it upwards?
Yeah, because these guys already kind of assisted by pulling her horizontally. You can try and go and see her go from the surface to just and just dive under all of that mayonnaise.
Yeah.
You can try to go like, ugh, pull
Yeah.
her up. Yeah, it's gonna be an athletics.
I'm like 3 feet at best, so 1 foot of me is a lot. That's too much to be under.
Oh God.
It's a 4.
You yank, and unfortunately, you're gonna give her -2 to her constitution as that rope that's tied around her midsection as she's holding her breath goes, and she just coughs a bubble, but instead of it going like water, it just and then reforms right back against your mouth. I'm gonna have you do a Constitution saving throw, and the DC, it's not the DC is too higher. It's that you get a -2 to it.
Oh.
One. No.
God, what is happening with
I
the
get a
dice?
D6. I get a D6. I get a D6. Nope. A 3.
D6? What was the D6 for? You have a D8.
Oh, a
for the Bardic
D8.
Inspiration.
Do you still?
Sorry. Nope.
Oh, even worse.
Do you still have inspiration from the last game?
Oh.
Did you use it?
Oh,
I don't think I've.
because you guys left into the Undercity with some inspiration?
I don't know.
You gave,
Because
you
of
gave
like
us
the
inspiration.
the
Yeah.
feast.
Oh, I don't know. So
Have you used it?
I don't think I've used anything.
I don't think you've used inspiration either. Want to use inspiration?
Yeah, I wish I remembered earlier, and I.
All right.
Oh,
I
no.
would say that this is a situation that would probably raise so much panic in me personally that if you did not have inspiration, I would do anything I could before I breathed in a river of pustulant mayo.
Oh, breath.
What spells can I
It's-
do?
It's starting to creep up the nostrils. It's not good. So I will say that you can use an inspiration here.
So reroll
Okay.
that D20.
6.
Ugh.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm looking for a spell.
This is why the stilts
Did I-
were there, guys.
I have like
There
way
were
better.
stilts.
This is way better.
Yeah.
Paddles.
All right.
Oh god. Could Thunderwave be shot behind me to like kind of push me like crazy?
If you put it straight down,
If
it
I
probably.
literally put it straight
know
down
what?
underneath
Okay.
me and go like,
So you
well, I'm attached to a rope
are
and I'm running.
underneath. She yanks upwards, gets rid of some of your air. You try to hold on. You're so panicked that you do as best as you possibly
So
can.
it's a force sweep. So
But you still actually failed. So you're going to
Keep pulling, Vinny. We'll get her.
hold on. Okay, it's only 1 point of suffocation right now,
okay.
of damage. Now, does that spell require a verbal component?
No, it's just.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Oh,
Yeah, verbal instrument.
you can't speak in the mayo. God.
Oh.
So you try to cast
1
Thunder
second.
Wave?
Oh no, I'll. If I can't cast it,
Okay.
I'll look for something else.
What else are you gonna do?
Is that verbal?
Roll an investigation for me real quick at disadvantage because you're panicked.
One
13.
more. At disadvantage.
disadvantage?
Plus, 18, 13 plus.
18.
Oh no, it's
Oh,
disadvantage.
13, right.
13 plus history? Or what is it?
Investigation.
Investigation plus 5.
Okay. You realize at this point, with you kind of struggling there, thinking of how to get out of this mess, that those cupboard things that are tied to your feet very securely, they are not helping these guys pulling you out. They would have pulled you twice as far if it wasn't for these things
The
that are.
drag.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of drag, and they are very securely attached to your feet. But that's something that you can try to.
Can I slip my feet out of my shoes?
It's
I'd
you
say-
can try, and this will be your action for the turn. It'll be an acrobatics at disadvantage because you can't see and because it's securely attached. And
Like,
because
just
you're trying to like
actually-
wiggle your feet through the muck.
Oh, I was just thinking about slipping off my shoes.
Oh, like out
Like
of
losing
your.
my
like,
shoes.
just like-
I
Oh,
don't
just
care about my
sacrificing
shoes.
the boots.
Yeah, boots can go.
All right, it's still tied very securely, and you're still blinded. It'll be -2 instead of disadvantage. And this is an acrobatics. My God, I just.
Sleight of foot.
Yeah, sleight of foot.
Just so you guys know what it is she's drowning in, it's this. This is what a
Can't see.
rock
We
farm
don't
looks
see
like.
it. Oh.
You
You
can't
don't
see it on your.
No.
No.
Oh. Hold on. Hold on, I've got it.
Are you on the interwebs, Mark?
Boom! There it is.
Oh, that's good.
That.
I got a 17.
Well, we can make that big.
I got a 17.
Yeah, if you can zoom. Okay, 17. Yeah,
That's
you
after
managed.
the -2 as well.
After the -2, perfect. So you are just freaking the hell out. You're trying to breathe, you can't. You're trying to speak, you can't. You're trying to kick these things off, you can't. So you just scrunch your little toes in, just wiggle those piggies as fast as you humanly can, and just back and forth, back and forth. two little baby feet are just plunked out of
the
behind
suit?
that. Awesome. So
is
now
that
it's
what we see now? Just two little feet.
No, it's your
sticking out?
go. No.
you guys can't see. She's like a foot
we
underneath
don't see
the
anything.
mayo, and it
Okay.
comes back around to you guys.
Zoralia, can you, as we're pulling, can you yell, grab it still, stick it where the rope disappears.
What?
Grab a still, the long thing,
Yeah.
and stick it where the rope disappears. So she
Oh.
can.
Are there stilts
There
near
are
me?
there are 4 stilts because it's 2 sets for 2 people.
They
that
were
live
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mentioned it a
Okay.
couple times.
Yes, we are aware of how they were there.
Okay.
We like the cupboard idea.
Cupboards were the way to go.
Yes, I will grab one
Awesome. You grab a
and
stilt.
stick it in.
All right,
So you
and
can, like, grab
you
one.
stick it in. You realize that stilt is about 10 feet of pole. She's 20 feet away. Let's see how good of a job.
Stilt is 10 feet long.
This thing is deep. This
Deep
is
enough
where
to bury her.
sewers pour it into like a reservoir.
Well, we're gonna
Oh,
keep
we're gonna
pulling.
keep pulling her.
All right, so go ahead and do an athletics
At
check.
advantage, I'm gonna help you because yours is better than mine.
Hold your breath. You'll be fine. Oh yeah, 18.
Awesome. So you guys start really pulling her through all of the muck and the sludge, and it's just like kind of. She's almost like a shark or like an eel under the fat, and it's just like it's like melted butter almost as it's kind of splitting as she's kind of coming under it. You guys are pulling for all your worth. I'm gonna have you guys do a relatively easy Constitution saving throw, just because you guys are pulling a pretty darn hefty weight.
0.
I was gonna say the DC's like 5, but 0 won't do it.
Con saving throw.
Don't you dare drop the rope.
I'm going to drop it so I can roll. 19.
Okay, you're the more physically fit specimen. You have pulled a couple servants out of the muck. So you kind of go, just a day in the life. At least she's half as heavy as the other ones. Meanwhile, you, who usually uses your wits to get out of any kind of physical work, are like, just a day in the life. Breathing into your trench coat so he doesn't hear how freaking exhausted you are. Yeah, you are going to get the equivalent of like a half point of exhaustion, where you will be exhausted until you have a short rest rather than a long rest.
Okay.
Which is just a disadvantage to ability checks.
Okay.
But it'll go away when you rest afterwards. Okay, so you guys have pulled her like a solid 15 feet, and she hasn't gone any deeper under the muck. So she's within 5 feet. She's within grabbing distance of the stick.
Like,
How far are those doors reach? The dock.
The dock, that's like 10 feet away from solid ground.
Yeah, I'm
and
just
she's
thinking-
standing at the end of the door pier.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can like
So-
jab at her.
Yeah. Do you want to try to grab the stick?
Jab
then?
at her.
I'll be trying to grab the stick.
All right, so
Like-
you're searching around. You're effectively blind. So blind means you have disadvantage on sight-related checks. So here, I'm going to say this. You can have disadvantage on this check, or, Zoralia, you can jab her in the head or in the general body area, which would count as like a weapon attack with a quarterstaff, but then it'd be pretty damn hard to miss.
How far is she?
She's like 5 feet away.
She's 5 feet
So
away.
you can attack her with it, and she'll find it. Or you can let her have
Can't reach
disadvantage.
her yet,
Not with your hands, but with the stilt, yeah.
Okay, I'll lightly jab at her.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna have you do an attack against her AC. Go ahead.
God.
You have advantage
What?
because she's prone and disadvantage because you can't see her. So it's just a straight dice.
Okay.
So
Don't do a lot of damage.
what's your proficiency?
3 plus...
Oh, it's a
3?
5.
Oh.
No. So you want to tap her so lightly that you kind of, and you're like churning butter essentially. You're just hitting like the top foot of stuff, and it's just like plunging the top layer, and you're like, hold on to it. You have no idea that she is trying to help you at all. Roll at disadvantage to try and grab onto this thing. It's gonna be athletics as you're swirling your arms in front of
Disadvantage?
you.
Oh god, 2.
You just, and with a 2, as you're grabbing, flailing around, you swim yourself a foot deeper, but you're only 5 feet away. And I'm gonna have you do, well, actually, you've already failed the Constitution saving throw, so you take more suffocation dice and the dice size goes up. And it maxed, so that's 8 points of suffocation.
We'll get you out and you just be a wreck.
All right, it goes back around to your guys' turn. Unless, Zorelia, you can actually do something else, because you were just doing that, and then you could pull her out, but you see her kind of dig deeper. You see the rope that these guys are pulling kind of
I will
going
pull on
along
the
edge of
rope.
doors. You're going to grab on as well
Yeah.
and lift up.
All three of
Athletics.
You can do it.
Come on.
9.
Should get
Plus
advantage.
anything? Do you beat a 10 or get 10? No?
It's 9.
You let go of the stilt, get your hands on that rope. It's hard because all of her weight and all the weight of the stuff on top is keeping it tight against the door. You reach into the slime to get a good hold and start pulling up on it, but as you do, the door starts kind of bending in, and the rest of it's kind of getting displaced around you as you like lift up, and it's slippery now that your hands are in the muck. She doesn't get any higher. Comes back around to your guys' turn.
We'll keep pulling.
All right. Pull, Antivirus, pull!
That's a 17.
All right, 17. You start pulling, and as you're holding on, you're like, I need to get her up. And then you see her form starting to like come up. The rope is rising in your hands. You're like, yes! Oh God! As these guys are just running straight back to pull her up, her head just hits the bottom of the door. Just as you guys run 15 feet, but she's only got 5 feet to go, and she just spam slams into the bottom of the pier, and you feel her head and her mouth just like.
Can I reach down
Yeah,
in
you
there and grab her?
Lay
out?
down on your belly and try to pull her out. All right, so grab on, and you are going to probably assist, I imagine.
You gonna help save
Oh,
yourself?
yeah.
Okay.
All right,
So-
you have advantages, Aurelia, to pull your guy's fat-covered baby out of the evil pool. Come on, Aurelia.
God.
19.
Yay.
Oh, thank
Yay.
God.
Yes, 19.
Did you roll with advantage?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The
Okay.
other one was a natural one, so.
Oh, God. It's a darn good thing you're willing to help.
Baby survived.
So you reach down there and just, Whoa, it's alive! So the baby just like a newborn
I'll
animal.
like cradle her in my lap.
Yeah, you
Oh, no.
dump her on the
healing
pier. You're sitting
word.
there just cradling her.
Good things I'd 4 hit points left.
Rancid what she smells like, but you're like, I'm here for you because however inconvenient it is for you, she has breathed some of it in, just like coughs it out.
Oh,
There is all kinds
I'm
of
gonna give her a big
rodeo.
smack on the back.
4 points of damage. She's not there.
Andy!
All right, well done, you guys. You made it.
Jeez.
We survived.
Did you still got the mushrooms?
Priority.
Is there a reason why those stilts are there? Are they for something?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like maybe there would have been a safer way to go through there.
Why
I'm sure I would've
didn't you
known
do
about
that?
it.
Why didn't you get stuck underneath? All that mud.
D&D Beyond.
Well, you were so eager to go.
I
don't
was.
have
You
to do
should have talked
everything,
me out
you
of
know?
it.
We got you out. We pulled you out.
Oh my God.
Well, good
Are
thing you had a
you okay?
rope on you, thanks to Vinny.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna die.
So I think we
But
can all agree
Other than that, I'm okay.
the winner here, he really is me. You got any of those mushrooms?
Whole bag for you.
Yay!
So as you guys are
You
on
should
the end of
probably
this,
have one.
Yeah. Healing points. What do I?
Hold on, my
I had 4 left. I was watching.
oh my God,
froze on me here.
You took damage?
Yeah.
Suffocation damage.
I took
Oh, I
suffocation
didn't.
damage,
You took
and I already had taken
she
damage
could
from the
have been
bug.
knocked out by the prodding. She could have been bonked by the door. She's
Okay, so you got 5.
We thought you were okay.
Ooh. Andy, can you heal me too?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have anything to get the mud off?
No.
no.
I do.
No, I did.
I'll cast Thaumaturgy as well.
Thank you.
Nice.
Is it Thaumaturgy? No, it's Prestidigitation. Sorry,
It's like the first day
Prestidigitation.
you guys saw me just covered in mud.
Alright, yeah. Put your hands on your back and try to get all that gunk out of there. Out of your chest, yeah. I'll cast Cure Wounds.
Awesome.
For max 11
Oh,
HP. There you go, you're all good.
You know that the whole point behind a rot farm is that there's a lot of dead stuff, but it leads to life in its own way. And so when she coughs up something, you kind of like and keep moving her even after you've finished casting the spell to kind of distract from the fact that something worm-like kind of lands in the slime and the bile and kind of wriggles and flops off the edge into the pool of stuff. You're like, yeah, it's all good. You'll recover. You're fine. You're all healed up. And
Can we see what happens next time?
yeah, as you guys are sitting on this makeshift pier, having just recovered
Always think.
your friend who has gotten you mushrooms so that you can get high, so he can get high,
Yeah, you told me to grab extra.
Well, we could all have a little fun with this.
and that's the thing. You guys are bickering amongst yourselves, and it all gets kind of echoed lost
At least I'm
in the
okay.
Undercity. That
Yeah.
bright little flare of life and excitement.
Yeah.
That's Ravnica for you. And we'll pick
Alright.
up next time with the following on the trail of Rashad.
We'll see how Jake almost dies next time.
We're still doing it. We're closing up. We gotta get gone. I can resume again next time. I'll be on the lookout for you.
There is a place at the core of it all where the tails and the glasses are equally tall. The chances you've heard one he hasn't are slim. Welcome to Grimm's on Grimm. Welcome to Grimm's